This right here is my old studio. If you think it looks like a common apartment kitchen, you are not incorrect. Oh, and this is Stockholm. This is where I used to live. See how fancy it is, see how well the people dress and the nice buildings. Stockholm is expensive. Hence the reason my studio was also my kitchen. It's like a shared custody situation. Every other week it is a functional apartment with all you can ask from one. Every other week it is a studio. Hope you don't get hungry. So after a couple of years of that, I moved. Away from the capital city, away from the crowds and the solid transportation networks. Actually, scratch that. All the way to Nässjö, where the dream was to afford both a place to live and a place to work, with a solid, respectful distance between. But see how tired that made me. Yep, that's me. And you're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation. Well, I decided that hauling all my stuff in a truck wasn't enough. I wanted to hike the full distance, all 360 kilometers. Oh, and I also wanted to vlog the whole thing, but it's my first time vlogging, so it's a hit and miss. Thank you for your understanding. This is me, in a hotel room in Södertälje. I'll take it from here. So I will meet up with a friend of mine here in the beginning. He's a photographer and he will help me get some nice shots in the beginning. So if the production quality deteriorates from that, you'll know why. So yeah, here we go. The goal for today is to reach Gnesta. I think I'm a third of the way there. Got quite a late start. We were filming until like 1 o'clock. So I'm trying to push through here and get to Gnesta before dinner time. Now it's time for some lunch. I think I will let my feet get some air, but I will save you that view. Good morning. It is day 2, and this is where I ended up yesterday. I was really pushing it the last few hours, so I didn't really film anything. My feet and legs were absolutely killing me the last few hours. But I made it to Gnesta. Finally, had some dinner just in time there, and restocked some food for today. And then I ended up in this field here, which is where I put up camp. And it is quite a sunny day today. So we're heading for Nyköping today. Still going south. It is quite a far way, maybe like 45 kilometers. So we'll see if I'll make it. But at least I start a lot earlier today. I think mainly we'll see how my feet are feeling towards lunch or something, if I can make it or not. Now I will have some breakfast, I think, and pack up this tent, tape up my feet, and then we'll see how it feels. Good morning. It is day 3. I guess I have to tell you about yesterday. I didn't really film anything, basically. So after I've been walking for a long time, I decided about 10k from Nyköping that I would get the bus. My feet were hurting really bad, and I felt that I had to take some precaution for the coming days. So I got up on a bus, stepped off in Nyköping, and as the bus drove away, I could hear my Bluetooth headphones disconnect. So I left my phone on the bus, and that started a maybe 4 or 5 hour hunt to get my phone back across Nyköping without a phone in a city where I don't know the way. I eventually got it back at the bus garage, but what was supposed to save me a few steps and some time, I don't think saved me any steps, and definitely did not save me any time. So the clock was quite a lot when I got my phone back, and I went to the public swimming pool to get a warm shower, and then I had dinner, bought some food and drinks for today, and then walked out of the city. And I think I set up camp at maybe 10:30 in the evening. So that wasn't really the plan. So 2 days in a row now, I've been setting up camp much later than I expected, than I had planned. So the hope for today is not to do that. We'll see how it goes. I woke up at 3:30 this morning, totally shivering. It was so cold in the tent this morning. I had put up a towel that was slightly damp to dry, and it was just frozen this morning. So yeah, I've been warming up by walking instead. My feet are still the worst problem. Not feeling too much pain anywhere else, but especially my heels are just absolutely killing me. It goes okay for maybe like 10k every day, and then it starts hurting. So we'll see. I'll just press on, see how far I get today. Next big city is Norrköping. I will not make it there today. I will try to get as close as possible today, and we'll see. And I'll try to film a little bit more as well. I can't promise anything. See you in a while. While I get on trying to reach Norrköping, let's talk a little bit about urbanization. Cities make up only a few percent of the total land area on Earth, yet they house well above half of the global population. This is a map of urbanization. Every marker here represents 10% of the total population. So the 8 markers of France mean that between 80 and 90% of the population lives in urban environments. Most nations in the world fall between 60 and 90%, with a few nations even above 90%. But in Africa and Southeast Asia, the picture is more mixed, with larger shares of the population living in rural areas. A few are below 20%. But this map is a simplification. There are no global standards of cities when it comes to population, population density, of services provided, or quality of life. In Japan, 50,000 people is required to make a city. In Uruguay, it is the job of the government to assign urban areas city status. In Singapore, the entire nation is considered part of the city. In Sweden, only 200 people is enough to make an urban environment. Meaning that I, during my hike, passed through many more urban areas than I would be able to say if I walked through dwellings of similar sizes in other nations. And this discrepancy, of course, results in comparisons like this one being of limited actual use. Some researchers put the share of the global population that live in urban environments at 85%, well above the number from the United Nations that uses nationally set definitions. The number from the UN is around 56%. Cities attract people for many reasons, including job opportunities, universities, services, safety, environmental reasons, or overall quality of living. Migration to cities can also be a direct result of negative aspects of rural living, like a lack of economic opportunity, climate change, or safety aspects. What we have talked about here is referred to push and pull factors, and is a commonly used model for all kinds of migration. Today in the world, the urban population is growing much faster than the rural, and this is true despite that urban people tend to have fewer children. Higher rates of urbanization have a tendency to bring about those types of statistics that at first glance seems counterintuitive. Like for example, cities in the UK at the very start of the Industrial Revolution had more people dying than being born within them, and the only reason for them still growing was that the influx of migrants was large enough to counteract what would otherwise result in population decline. Today, even in poor nations, city life is in general less fraught with disease and dirt than in 19th century London. City life is as diverse as life in general. For some, city life is luxurious and the ultimate indication of wealth and well-being. But for people stuck in slums, in the outskirts of megacities, life can be just as dangerous or unhealthy as life was back in the countryside, if not worse. While some wants to qualify certain suburbs in high-income nations as slums, areas with lower socioeconomic standards or with an ethnical composition significantly diverging from the population of the nation as a whole, or with a higher crime rate. But this fails to comprehend what slum life is like in the nations that see a lot of it in and around its urban areas. In some nations, the share of the urban population living in slums is 60, 70, 80 or even 90%, while in most high and upper middle income nations, slums are basically non-existent. And on a global scale, the slum population of the world has been steady at around 1 billion for the last 20 years, while the urban population not living in slums has increased rapidly. We will talk more about different types of migration between rural and urban areas in a little while. But now I think I'm ready to set up camp for the night. Alright, the tent is up. I am gonna go into town and get some dinner and buy some food for tomorrow. It is already cold. I don't like that. It's gonna be a chilly night. Even though everything hurts right now, I'm really happy with how far I got today, over 45 kilometers. So tomorrow will be a lot shorter, and then we will reach Norrköping and actually get a hotel night tomorrow. That's gonna be awesome. That's gonna be great. But yeah, that's it for now. Mosquitoes out. Let's go. Good morning. It is day 4. It wasn't as cold last night as I feared, so I'm feeling quite good actually. And now we're heading for Norrköping. Good morning. It is day 5. Yeah, day 5. I have left Norrköping and I'm on my way to Linköping. I will not reach it tonight, so I have one more night in a tent, and then I get my rest day in Linköping on Saturday. The walk yesterday was quite tough. It wasn't very long, it was just 20k or something, but 22k I think. But I was very sore after the day before that. And the road was really not fun. It was a big road, there was a lot of traffic and a lot of wind. So I couldn't really film anything. I feel like I say this every time I talk to the camera, like I've not been able to film as much as I want to. It's really tricky, it's difficult to find the energy to pick up the camera, to pick up the tripod and to film and try to find good shots when you're just exhausted and you're pushing every little bit of energy that you still have left in you. So I mean, I have such a great respect for all the hikers on YouTube who make these great documentaries of their hikes. Like Craig Adams walking back and getting that camera every time he films himself walking by. Right now my feet are feeling better, so that's good. I'm actually able to walk quite pain-free right now. Still my heels are a little bit itchy, but I mean, that's a pretty good feel. And I don't have that long of a walk today. I walked close to 10k now, and I have another 20 to do today, is the plan at least. So I think that should be alright. When you're out there, when you're really pushing every little bit of energy that you have left, trying to force yourself to keep on walking, you are wondering why you're doing that. And I thought I would maybe talk a little bit about why I think I'm doing this. I hadn't slept in a tent until 2020. That was the first time I slept in a tent. And I did it with some of my closest friends. And we did a short hike, and I enjoyed it. I mean, it was tough, but I enjoyed it, and I think I wanted to do it more. And then last year we were up in the northernmost point of Sweden and climbed Kebnekaise, the tallest mountain in Sweden. And that was great in many ways, also very, very tough. And I would not have made it if I hadn't got help from my friends who were with me. You can see some pictures here. That's me on the top, I'm there. But I can't say I didn't really do well there. So I guess it's a bit of a feeling of wanting revenge for that, is what I'm doing now. The question is why I'm forcing myself to walk 350 kilometers to do that, but it's something about that like big challenge. And I admire all these hikers on YouTube walking like the Appalachian Trail or the Pacific one, or whatever it's called. I found this trail in Japan online. Then I have now forgotten the name of it. Something on M. that walks along the Pacific coast, up by Fukushima and further on. And I just really want to do it, but it's 100 kilometers long, so it's a great challenge. So I guess that's what I'm doing right now. I'm sort of trying out long distance hiking, walking from city to city and see how it is, and if I can manage to do it, then maybe someday I'll go to Japan and do that hike. Yeah. It's also nice just doing stuff alone. Like, I was really looking forward to just being alone for 2 weeks. So I guess that's a very introvert thing to say, but yeah, it really was. And I mean, most of the time, I mean, walking on larger paved roads isn't that much fun, but like walking in the forest here it's really nice. And I don't think this is the last time I will do any big hikes, definitely. But I will probably need to improve my vlogging skills, because I have a feeling that there are a lot of stuff that I will be annoyed at myself that I didn't film when I tried to edit this. But you live, you learn. I think I'm gonna have some lunch now, actually. And also, if I seem red, let me point out the obvious, that I am using sunscreen. I get red anyway. Welcome to my world. And I feel like my lips have really gotten sore, so I have this balm of some sort that I'm trying to use, which makes them all glossy and nice. So for dinner we're having a ready-to-eat meal. Either Thai chicken with coconut taste or chicken curry with rice. I'm gonna go for the Thai chicken today. Good morning. It is Sunday, literally and figuratively. I am leaving Linköping now. I had my rest day yesterday, so now I'm back on the trail. And what a gorgeous way to start the second half of this hike. We are now traveling from Linköping down to Rimforsa, which is the next stop. My plan is not to reach it today, but tomorrow, maybe around lunch. So today shouldn't be too bad. Around 25k is the goal for today. Right now I'm feeling great. I thought I would have a hard time moving on from Linköping after resting there, just wanting to take the train home. But I feel great. I'm actually looking forward to walking today. Maybe it's just my feet aren't hurting yet. That's probably it. Morning, day 9. While I get a night's rest in Kisa, let's talk about suburbanization and counterurbanization. Overall, the world is getting more and more urbanized. When agriculture becomes industrialized and make up a smaller share of the national economy, fewer people stay in rural environments. First of all, I want to acknowledge that when talking about these types of phenomena, it is easy to get too focused on the United States. I have even talked about this before on my channel, in my US population video. These phenomena exist the world over, but many of the examples one comes across are simply from the US. Suburbanization describes when suburbs in close proximity of the city center or further out grows faster than the core of the city. This development is often associated with an increase in car ownership or an improved access to public transportation that makes commuting longer distances a viable option for people. It can also be a result of perceived negative development within the city, like an increase in crime or in cost of living. The larger cities, not the least when they are characterized by a lack of land area to expand into, often see high spikes in land value, rents, and overall cost of living. This can drive people to live further out from the center if job opportunities exist elsewhere or if commuting is a reasonable option. Suburbanization is not necessarily a permanent shift. Some city centers once again attract citizens when negative aspects are reduced or when areas are, through some form of gentrification, perceived as more attractive by a more affluent part of the population. There are also examples of suburbs being absorbed by a growing city center, where two-story houses and cul-de-sacs get replaced by areas with a much higher population density. The technological development that the world has seen more and more of in the last couple of decades can further increase the demand for suburban living, when commuting is not anymore a necessary part of working in the city. We saw this, of course, increase tenfold during the pandemic, when the use of video calls and working from home brought on the need for new solutions for employers. This development can also bring on an increase in what is typically called counterurbanization, referring to times when rural environments or smaller urban areas grow faster than the larger cities. The long for rural living, perhaps a return to a childhood setting or the setting of one's parents' childhood, can be a driving force in counterurbanization. So can a lower cost of living and a closeness to nature. It is also possible that a growing demand in high-income nations for food security and a focus on domestic production with economic incentives can increase the drive for individuals and families looking to make a career in agriculture. Still, the overall global trend is that we will, almost across the board, live more in cities in the future than today. But reverse trends should be noted. They may play an interesting role in the coming decades. Now let's see if I reach the end goal of Nässjö. Good morning. It is day 10 out on the road. I have left Kisa yesterday, or this morning rather. Now I'm walking south to Ydrefors, and hopefully a little bit longer than that. My plan is to reach Eksjö, or very close to Eksjö, tomorrow evening. And then we only have one more day left. So it might be the third last day. We'll see how it goes. Maybe the fourth. Right now the weather is quite nice, but it's very windy today. And windy and sunny. There's supposed to be some rain this afternoon. My feet are hurting quite bad today. I pushed through a lot yesterday. And today there is a lot of asphalt. So even though the road is quite beautiful, it isn't the best to walk on. So we'll see. I'm taking 1 kilometer at a time.
When you came over, my heart was on its way out. I wasn't sober, and I was thinking out loud. I spoke of your bravery, your wit and audacity, of coming over and letting go of it all. Please move close to me. You scared of it all. And isn't it glorious how love gets the best of us? Yeah, I got feelings, but I'm a tough one sometimes.
Good morning. It is day 11, I think. It rained a lot yesterday evening, so basically everything is still wet. But I managed to pack up the tent and get going just a minute ago. It might be the second to last day, we'll see how it goes today. It should be more gravel than asphalt today, so hopefully I can push through and still have a manageable last day. Really don't feel like having 2 more nights in the tent, so just 1 more would be really, really nice. So the attempt is to get to as close to Eksjö as possible today. And the clouds are moving away. I see blue sky. Walking on these forest roads are really nice. I mean, they're softer than asphalt, definitely. And the scenery is just lovely. And you feel very secluded because I haven't seen a car or a human in maybe 2 hours now. Nor a house, for that matter. It is a little bit chilly in the air, but the sun comes out every now and then. These hills though, that's what's killing me right now. But other than that, I feel great so far. 1 more break and 1 more walk, and then it's time for lunch. Then we should have gone past half point today, hopefully. So it is 7:30 something, I'm not entirely sure. My phone is absolutely dead. I walked, I think, around 40 kilometers today, and I can feel that. My legs are hurting really bad, my feet are. So we'll see. Hopefully it will be enough for tomorrow to be the last day. I pitched the tent in a very mossy area, not the best, but it'll just have to do. And right now I am, apart from avoiding mosquitoes, waiting for my dinner, which will be delivered by a very kind friend of mine. I feel like I've deserved that today. I also have no water left, so I've had to be a bit careful with that all throughout the day. She's bringing some of that too, and a power bank, so I can charge my phone. Really, really looking forward to getting back home now.
Sitter du på din sten?
Mm-hmm. Good morning. It is day 12 and it's very early. I don't think it's 6 o'clock even. It just started to rain. I managed to pack up camp just before, so that's good. I know it's the final day and I'm supposed to feel all happy and exhilarated, but right now I can't think of anything else than the 30k that I still have to do today. I guess the original plan wasn't really to get a long day for the last one, just maybe a short 10 or 15k, but that's not how it turned out. And I'm not sleeping another night in the tent, so I am getting home today one way or another. I do not feel like I recovered from yesterday very well. And I know yesterday was 40k, so it's 30 today is shorter, but yesterday was basically zero asphalt and today I think it's gonna be close to all asphalt. So we'll see how my body will handle that. I guess I will just have to push on. At least this time I have a new power bank, so I can listen to something else than my inner monologue. Yeah. Final day. A couple of hours later I am closing in on Eksjö, 3 kilometers away or so. It rained quite a lot for a little while, but it seems to have subsided now. So I feel a bit more energetic. It's still way too early to eat lunch, so I'm gonna go to the grocery store and try to find something to eat on the way between Eksjö and Lönnö. Still feeling okay, but it's a long way still to go. Reached Lönnö. The weather is awful. At least no rain just right now. Final stretch. Here we go. Thank you so much for following along on my journey. If you like this type of content and want to see more of it on my channel, don't be afraid to tell me in the comments. You can also become a member on my channel and support me further that way. Thank you so much for watching.